Why is meditation not attractive to patients? Whenever I say you need to meditate, people are like, yeah, okay, I will do that.
I think because again, the way it's pushed down on people. Nothing should ever be pushed down. Religion, spirituality, medicine, nutrition, no. Because it creates an immediate resistance, right? That, oh, you have to do 45 minutes. Why would you tell someone who's now just trying to get into meditation that you have to do 45 minutes to get this? Start off with 5 minutes. Make it attractive. Make it based on self-realization that, hey, listen, it may not work for you. Let's do 5 minutes for 1 week and now sit with me and tell me how you feel. And now you're involving them rather than putting authority. It's like, look, I feel great on these days. Great, let's try 10 minutes next week. You coach people into change. You never use authority. Even with medicines, patients will come like, look, the doctors give me all these prescriptions, all this. I hate medicine. I can't do this. This has a side effect. I Google it. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about everything. Break it down. Coach them into understanding that you need this. Yes, every medicine has a side effect. Let's see. This steroid now is going to deplete vitamin A, vitamin C, zinc. But we are going to now eat foods that contain this. So you're going to be fine. But the steroid is going to bring your immune system in place. You have an autoimmune condition, right? So you coach them with understanding. Wow. Everything, even meditation. Today, everyone says, oh, if you do this for 1 hour, your life will become like this. It's not necessary. It doesn't have to be that way. So we believe in small wins.
Small wins.
One baby step at a time. Let it become, it serves you, great, now I'll do it more. But that's why exercise, today people are reliant on motivation. Why should we be reliant on motivation? Motivation is for people who have not yet decided that I want to achieve this. Then you're inspired. We need to work with inspiration. But because it's become a product, exercise, motivation, look at this person in the gym, muscle, you think, no, I have to look at it differently, okay? I need movement and exercise because it looks after me, this. Now, what is the best way to do it? Let me start with a walk. Now, let me do a few push-ups. Now, let me do this. Oh, I want to experiment with the gym. I went. I love it. Continue. I don't like it. Don't go there. It's not the end. But baby steps, people have to be coached into it. At every level of life. Even a 70-year-old person has to be coached. We can't assume that they're mature and they're, senior citizens and all. Even they need gentle coaching because the human mind has so many preconceived notions that have to be broken down.
Wow.
And that's why coaching is such an important part for everything. Wow. You have mentors who help you with your finance. You have mentors who help you with... I have a mentor too. Because sometimes you need someone looking over you to say that, look, you need to move in this direction. Or you need to do this. So I think it's always nice to be coached and to coach people out of, their problems.
It was the accountability factor?
Accountability is one of it. And two is them showing them the mirror always. Reminding them why are you doing exercise? Not because your friends are doing it and you're feeling bad, because your body needs it. Why are you eating great food? Not because Instagram says so. It's because these are trillions of cells. They get the right food, they send the right message. They get the wrong food, they send the wrong message. So you have a hair fall problem. Why is your hair falling? Where is the communication in the body broken down? Why are you growing a tumor? What is communicating with cells to grow the tumor? Why is angiogenesis out of control in your body? It's communication. All hormones are messengers. They're either giving you the right message or the wrong message. It's like fertility and infertility. The message is wrong. Everything to do. Why are my blood sugar levels rising? Insulin response. It's a message. Insulin resistance. Why are my cells sending a message that close up, don't take in blood sugar?
There's something wrong.
So the point is how do we, correct communication? Every relationship that is bad in life, whether it's with a parent, a loved one, is because there is a breakdown of communication. That's number one. There is assumption. There is entitlement. He should think that way. She should think that way. But when you communicate, everything changes. So right communication, right message. Wrong communication, wrong message.
And the communication can get better with gratefulness, gratitude, meditation, sleep.
Yeah.
And you talk about forgiveness. Please educate us. What is forgiveness and how do we adopt in our lifestyle?
See, it's a very difficult thing. And that's why I always say I never preach about forgiveness. Because if you give me 3 instances right now, I wouldn't know how to exercise forgiveness. Like when you read about a young 4-year-old girl who's been raped, how do you forgive? So I don't know those answers. But for everything else, like he hurt me, she hurt me, all of that stuff, it is one of the most important parts of our health. Like any cancer patient who comes to me, the first thing we will talk about is what suppressed emotions are you holding? Resentment, guilt, unforgiveness. I mean, there's science on it. When you look at the work of Dr. Gabor Mate, where he talks about, and we've seen it in our patients. I've had emotional breakdowns where our patient has finally forgiven, and they will cry and they'll cry and they'll cry. And then you look at their recovery post-stat. Everything changes. Every single thing changes. So I think about forgiveness, the first thing we need to understand, it's not for the other person. It's for you. You are forgiving for yourself to let go. And, I ask people to reflect. Okay, you're in a state of unforgiveness, but the person that, you're not forgiving, look at their life. They're living. They're on the beach, they're here on holidays, and you're getting... So who's getting hurt? You. Now, there are many, many ways to start the process of forgiveness, but a lot of people don't forgive also because of their pride and ego. How could she say this? How could he do this? Why not? When you separate the human brain, the same brain that is capable of good is also capable of evil. The same brain that can serve society can go and murder a child tomorrow. There was a trigger point. That's the human brain, and all of us have that. We have a dark and a light side. We all have the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
It's what we feed, it's what we nourish, it's what we channel. If I nourish anger, I'm an angry person. But it doesn't mean I can't have anger. It's part of the human spectrum. And there are a lot of people who pretend I'm spiritual, I'm calm, but inside they can't forgive, they're resentful, they're angry, because they're not respecting the human spectrum of emotions. Every human being will have lust, will have jealousy, will have greed, will have gluttony, will have anger. But the point is, we're aware of it. Now, I don't let lust become a crime. I don't let lust degrade a woman or a girl or a man. I don't let it come to that level. I don't let jealousy make me negative about myself. If I'm jealous that my friend has a car, I can use it as a message. If I want that car, put in the work and get it. But I've changed jealousy to a message, action. But sitting and being jealous, oh, he has black money, that's how he got it. It's not serving me. He's still driving his car and enjoying his life. But if I'm jealous, I'm understanding the feeling that, oh, I do want that. I want to be like him. Work for it, get it. Aspire, earn money, buy it. I've used jealousy, a negative emotion.
It's a positive.
I've changed it. So you see, that's how we channel it.
But how do we get help for this? Can somebody do it by ourselves, or should we have to go to a
It really
person
depends
like
on the
you?
depth. It really depends on the depth. Like I have my limitations. I can show the mirror to people. I can help them with techniques, but some of them need counselors. They need to move into therapy. Because a lot of them have childhood issues. I can't solve that. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not at that level, and I don't give medicine for that. But the point is, sometimes we reach a patient where showing them the mirror, giving them tools, they start practicing it. They don't need it. Some need it immediately. Like they're dealing, like, you know how many Indian women we have who have been raped, who have been molested.
Oh my God.
Great families. They're suffering with cancer today. And they've lived their life because they can't tell anyone. Who do they tell? A young child who's been raped or molested by an uncle is told by their parents in our country, don't you ever tell anyone because no one will marry you. Now that girl has grown up. She's attracted the wrong relationships, or she's in the right relationships because of her fear. She can't give. She can't be who she needs to be. And those relationships break up until they finally address the point. They express it. They talk about it. They need counseling. People who have emotional, deeply rooted trauma. Of course, they need the right professional for that.
Many people have told me that the weight gain, I strongly feel that they're failing in weight loss journey is tied down to these deep emotions.
Of course, for weight gain, especially abdominal fat, is insecurity. And when you go into the lives of these people, and of course, there's also gluttony and greed. You're just eating. Don't blame it on the emotion.
But you put in all the effort, but still you're not getting.
For people who are putting all the effort and not, they have to look at emotions. Where have they been insecure? Sometimes their relationship with their father was broken. So a father gives a sense of security, or the mother. Sometimes, I'm not here to blame parents, but, if your parents have not healed before having a child, their suffering is going to come out on the child eventually. But the whole point is we need to recognize these things, and you need to look at that. So a girl or a boy holding on weight, when you really get into their emotions, there's either something wrong in their childhood, there's something wrong in their relationships, or they've built these blocks. They've been in a relationship where they were abused or called fat or called whatever. Now they don't have security. See, when the body feels safe, everything works. When we feel unsafe, the message going to trillions of cells is very, very different. Like, I mean, I'll give you a simple example. I mean, we can prove this with science, or we can prove it with a simple exercise right now. When we're happy or when we're joyous, how do we feel?
We feel
Our
excited,
bodies opened up.
The
moment we feel angry or insecure or safe, posture change. We're like this.
It's a sense of like chest compression.
How is this happening? Trillions of cells are responding to a thought and an emotion. So I can say something to you that makes you angry right now. Every part of you will change. Your posture, your whatever. And see, that's where people have to realize the impact of their emotions. And if you need help, please take that help. Because sometimes it's not the diet that's going to fix you. It's not the exercise. It's that emotional void or it's that trauma that has to come out. And when it comes out, your body starts to behaving in balance. And now your efforts for weight loss will actually start showing results.
Wow.
Like the liver and anger. No matter what anyone says, if you look at the data of people who have cirrhotic livers or any liver problem, they will be irritable people. They will be angry people. Prostate as well. Again, I'm not saying this is the only thing, but you have to look at several factors. And when you come to the emotional part, there is a corresponding emotion with that particular condition.
Wow.
So you have to address it. Please take your medicine, do everything. But for the emotional part, you need to see all these things.
Wow.
So tomorrow, my dream for an ideal world is when the doctors and professionals are equipped with this, they're able to write a prescription and say, okay, yeah, you have prostate cancer, you need this, but listen, I need you to be a happier person. You will get better if you change your emotions as well. Now the patient goes back to, hey, it's not just the chemo. I also need to start making other changes.
Wow.
That's when the patient really, really benefits from a holistic treatment.
Approach.